Hello, everyone. Welcome to NannuoLive, and hello to Elsa. How are you doing today?
Hi, everyone. Great, great, great.
Nice to see you, and nice to see you, everybody. I see that there are already a few comments here in the chat. I see people from at least two different continents and different nations. We have Italy, we have Germany for sure, we have United States, and yeah, and so on and so forth. So let's see how the audience build up today. And NannuoLive is our NannuoShan live streaming channel, if you want. And Elsa, sometimes we do workshops, sometimes is a little bit more informal, and today it is more informal.
Yay, great.
So we're simply going to drink tea together. Here in DC is a wonderful summer day. I just got up an hour ago, and the sun is shining. How it is on your side, Elsa?
For me, it's not quite so summery. It went from
No,
very hot where I was before, and now it's actually pretty chilly. So,
pretty chill. Okay, we will have to tell everybody more about that in a second.
yeah.
But first of all, we have a chat. Oh, nice. There is also on Charlotte. Hello. So, by the way, I mean, Anne Charlotte is opening very soon Freud Tea in Berlin, a new tea shop in, I believe, is Friedrichshain. Please, Anne Charlotte, correct me if I'm wrong. I've seen some picture on Instagram that you have a location now, and it's just a few weeks from opening. So go ahead and check on Instagram. Maybe I have difficulties in writing here on the keyboard. It's very far away, but maybe you can write the name of the shop and people can watch around. It's a very nice concept, and it is something unique to Berlin about tea. So you want to check that out. Anyway, Elsa, should we tell everybody what we plan to do today besides drinking tea?
Yeah, definitely. And what kind of teas we're going to be
I
drinking.
could tell you a thing we're gonna be drinking. Okay, let's start with that. So some of you already know which tea we have chosen to drink today. As I mean, on your side, Elsa, what do you have selected?
Yeah, so I'm going to be starting with an organic rogui. And then after that, I will do the shui jingui, two rock teas. So it's
Two rock teas.
definitely colder weather teas.
Colder weather tea in summer. Well, probably when we decided the name of the streaming, San Fan Tea, we didn't know where Elsa would be streaming from. Um,
And actually, we also thought Matthias would be with us, and he's not with us. And
oh
so
yeah, by the way, we didn't mention that. Yes.
yeah. So
Well, do you
I
want to
actually
tell what
think,
happened, Elsa?
yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I think we have to rename this streaming tea in the time of COVID-19 because there's been all of these necessary adjustments. So actually, poor Matthias is
Yeah.
stranded at an airport right now, um, and was hoping to be back home a week ago, and then ended up getting stuck in. He's in Oslo, right? I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. It was in Oslo. I mean,
Mm.
not too bad for him. It means he has extended his holiday for 1 week.
Yeah.
He had a direct flight to fly back to Switzerland and be just on time for the streaming, and that flight was cancelled. So now he's somewhat in between Norway and Switzerland. So many greetings to him if you get the chance to connect and look at us. And yeah, I mean, I understand then because I know where you are. We will have to reveal it soon. I understand now the choice of the rock tea, although it surprised me a little bit because Elsa chose at first another tea, was Shuijingui and the Dansong. And then when she converted to rock tea, I thought, wow, because Rogui is really, really a strong rock tea. So I was just surprised. As for me, I have Jinshuan, this one here. You can read that. And so it is a Taiwan oolong, milky oolong, let's say. And then I have, of course, my favorite tea, my Huanjixian, that I will do later on. So if you have those teas or something similar at all, go grab them and start drinking with us. I've seen some posts today on Instagram, for example, from Alan that choose Elsa's tea, so he will be drinking.
Yes, cheers, Alain. Great to drink with you.
Yeah, and then besides drinking tea, what we have for you? We have quite a few news, of course, and we have new faces on our YouTube channel. We have, what do we have? We have a tea game for you. So later on, we will do a tea game. And for the one that gets right, we'll get a 20 euro voucher. So you want to stay with us to try that out. Then we have to reveal a new project, a new tea project, a very big project that has been keeping us busy for several months. And it is the Pu-erh project, our Pu-erh project. And am I missing something?
The new tea deals.
The new tea deal, yeah. So we made a video some months ago about tea deals that you can do on NannuoShan. Tea deals meaning either you buy a tea for cheaper price or you buy a very exclusive tea that otherwise is not available. And I think at that time I listed 7 different ways of doing tea deals. And today we found out the 8th one that we want to present today. And not only we will present today, we will even be starting it in this YouTube video. So that's it. My water is ready. And maybe Elsa, yeah, let's reveal where you are, what you're doing.
Yeah, because actually the last time that we filmed something together, we were both in New York City, and I think that was exactly 1 year ago, or a little bit more. And I, since then, have been a bit all over. I spent some time in Argentina, some time in Denmark, some time in France, and I'm now landed in London for the year. So I'm going to be doing a master's program at King's College, and so before that I have to do my 2 weeks of quarantine. So I'm at the very beginning of that.
Okay. So
drinking a lot.
You have to be full time at home drinking tea.
Exactly. No complaints. No complaints there.
I understand. No complaints. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. So you have something new on your horizon. Back to school. I wish.
Back to school. It's been a while, so I hope I remember how to write essays and
how does it feel?
Read. There's been so many changes. It's been such a wild year. I think it's been a wild year for all of us. And so it feels surreal because I hadn't expected to find myself here, but it also feels so exciting. I think I wish I could be in school all the time, always. So it's kind of exciting to be diving back in at this stage.
And as you said, we did this video about white tea about a year ago. So it was one of the first video actually on our channel, but people liked it a lot. So I think still today is the video with most view on of the 100 we have made in the past year. And
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then actually it just happened that with Elsa we have been cooperating for forth and back for actually quite some time. I recall being in Switzerland having Skype call with you and discussing how we cooperate, and this was like 2 years, 3 years ago. But then in the past months we have really started to do it more intensively. And has been a lot and you will also discover today, has been a lot in the backstage of NannuoShan. And so we thought, let's bring Elsa up in the front, and here we have a video together. The idea, of course, was to be together with Mathias as well, but that's what's happening. And we can already say that actually you might well see Elsa more and more in the future. And you have certainly also, especially if you have ordered from France, you might have received some letters together with your order signed by Elsa. And we plan to have Elsa also doing videos on our YouTube channel. So we're still to start filming Elsa.
Yes.
See how that turned out.
It's in the works.
It's in work, yeah. And one of the reasons why we thought about having a new face is that, first of all, I mean, I don't know you, but me personally, I prefer YouTube channel where I see different faces, like I can hear different opinions. And it helps me to, broaden a little bit my horizon. So what do you do watching different channels to listen to different voices? It's also nice to do it in a single channel, depending on which are your hobbies and what do you watch on YouTube. And also because we are going to expand substantially our Japanese tea offer. So very soon, we are just about to finish the product page. We will release, I think, 6 different Japanese tea fresh from this year harvest, May and June, and directly from the farm. And actually, as you have been on a farm in Japan, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I was actually just thinking about this the other day, how my background in Japanese tea is actually exactly the reason that you and I met. Um, because I
Wow.
was so when I began working in the tea industry, I first did a 3-month internship on a tea farm in Japan. So I don't know if some of our viewers have heard of it, but with this company called Obubu N. So they do this 3-month internship where people can come from all over the world. Some of them are people who work in tea, some of them are just people who are curious about tea, some of them are students even just in agriculture. And you get to spend 3 months contributing to the harvesting, leading tea classes, tea tours for visitors to the tea farm. And so my start in the tea industry was a deep dive into Japanese tea. And so
Mhm.
then a few years later, I was meeting up with some of the actually one of the founders of the company and someone who works at the company and a good friend of mine who had also done that internship. And we were in Berlin and we were wondering where to meet up. And my friend said, well, actually, I know an amazing tea shop in Berlin. And it was NannuoShan. And so we went
And
there
by
and
chance, I was
Gabriele,
there
you
that
were there.
weekend. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was maybe once every 2-3 months in Berlin just for a weekend because I was living in Switzerland. So it
Right.
just happened by chance that we met, and I remember exactly that. Yeah, that day. I don't remember exactly actually how we remain in touch after that, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Here we are
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
And I see that we have, I mean, a lot of people online, and I just saw 2 names that are related to a new way we source tea and teaware. So I won't mention who those persons are and what I'm actually referring to. I will tell you a little bit more later about that. But basically, we have found a way to involve you also in the sourcing of our products. And I say, when we get to the Pu-erh project, I will tell you more. But it's not only about Pu-erh. Actually, we are starting involving our customer and our tea friends in sourcing tea and teaware as well. Anyway, let's see who is online here. We have hi guys. So that's Joe from Switzerland. We have Agnes from Kosovo. I mean, hi Agnes.
Oh, amazing.
Nice to see you there. She was in Berlin before. We met in the tea house. Agnes came to a few workshops as well. So it's nice. Now I know she's in Kosovo, and it's nice to see that she's connecting from farther. We have Cologne, Milan, Stuttgart. Wow, that's really cool, guys.
And I'm also impressed by Matthew from California. It's quite early for you, Matthew. Thanks for
Yes,
joining.
yeah. I mean, it's early for me, and I am on the East Coast.
Yeah. Oh.
Ah, yeah. How is your tea?
Mm. Oh yes. It actually the rogue leaf feels like drinking like a cinnamon hot chocolate. I think that's why the colder weather has been making me crave that one in particular.
I
Mm.
have to say that the Jinshan is very summery, but thick. I mean, of course, it has some ears, so it starts even developing some body. But
Mm.
I mean, you usually say that it has a kind of milky feeling, and I would say even buttery. very, very thick in the mouth. And I'm happy that I steep it longer than I wanted because, of course, like for Gotten Brew, also myself, brewing tea because it didn't turn bitter and it's very mouth-feeling. Yeah, I really like that a lot. Yeah.
And so you are in DC right now, Gabriele?
Yeah. Right now I'm in DC. Well, it has been a journey in the past month, really. So I actually supposed to be in Denver originally, so I've been there for 1.5 years, actually 1 year. And then when COVID came, I moved to DC, where Caroline is, because I had any way to do home office, so I was staying in DC. But knowing that I will move to Alabama, so to Huntsville, Alabama, in the south. And this is actually what I did at the beginning of the summer. I went to Alabama, but unexpectedly, it's a long story, but unexpectedly, I didn't have a house anymore. Like, I was in Alabama, I had to work there, but I had no house, and I had no way in finding a house very quickly. So I came back to DC. Yeah.
And are you working mostly from home or mostly
in the
office?
When I am in Alabama, I go to the office. So in Alabama, Alabama, every state does it a bit different here. So that's the point. It's huge, the difference. I don't know about Europe, but probably also there are such differences. Like in DC, and also in Denver, everyone outside wear a mask. Like when I go out running, I cannot wear a mask because either I run or I have to breathe.
Then you just
avoid people on the way. And what happens is that actually many people run with a mask, and even those that run fast, they have a mask. When they meet someone, they pull the mask up.
Wow, in DC.
In DC, if you go in Alabama, forget about it. In Alabama, people don't wear a mask, even if it is compulsory. For example, in the shop, you go in a barbecue place, and the guy that cut the meat is without a mask, nothing.
Wow.
So it's for me is personally very annoying because I think that should be more respect. It's not that I fear, catching it, and I'm not in a risk group, but it's just for society awareness. I don't like that.
Of course.
And of course, the cases are extremely high down in the south. Yeah.
And so it's interesting because for you, this past year has really made you quite a USA expert. You've had really quite a taste of all these different,
that's for sure.
areas.
Yeah, and I also travel a lot. I like to travel, so I think I've been already definitely more than 30 states I've visited. I won't visit them all, but Caroline is closer than I. I think she has just 10 missing. And she's coming right now. Like I had the streaming, I cannot take the weekend off, but Monday's free on the USA. Here in USA, she had also the Friday free, so she's now in Arizona.
Oh, fun! Oh, great!
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite of all the different?
Well, I can tell you definitely not Alabama. I have to spend there at least another year, and because I'm moving there just at this month or at the beginning of the next, something like that. I will be moving there, and I'm not really looking forward to it. Not because of the job, because that's actually very interesting what we're going to do there. But how can I say? It's not the way I like to live. Like for example, I like cycling. It's very hard to cycle in Alabama because people are not used to cycle, and even they take the car for doing everything. So cycle in the city is kind of dangerous because cars are not used to see bicycles. So it's a different life, but that's how it is. I've already seen that there are also some tea lovers down there, so as soon as COVID is over, we will have some tea meetings.
Yeah, well, and that's the great thing about tea is you can just find a little family wherever you are.
Yeah.
Even in Alabama, I'm sure.
Definitely, yeah.
And so also, I think something that we forgot to say at the beginning is that the idea is, so Gabriele and I will be kind of asking each other questions, but if at any point any one of the viewers has a question for Gabriele as well, please,
For example,
or
there is
me,
a question right
please.
now. What is in the cups? I missed the info. So yeah, Ansharlot. So I have Jinshuan. Jinshuan is the name of the cultivar. Taiwan Oolong tea, relatively lightly oxidized and roasted, but they have already some years, so it has a very thick taste. And do you have Robuy right now?
I do, actually. So a wooey rock tea with a lot of like sort of spicy, chocolatey cinnamon notes, very, very warming. Like some nutmeg notes in it as well. I don't know what, Alain, did you start with the rogui or did you start with another one? Since I know we were drinking the same teas, Alain and I.
Alain. Yeah, Alain, what are you drinking? There is always a little bit of delay before us speaking and you listen us. There is like a 10-15 second lag. But anyway, what were we saying? Yes, of course, that feel free to ask questions. We are trying here to multitask between speaking with each other, drinking tea, and reading your chat. Our time. And swimming. Now Joe is speaking about swimming. I think I missed something here. Oh, the Munich tea nuts. Yes, because there is right now a tea meetings also in Munich.
Oh, fun.
Actually, we have to greet also our film director, Ziggy, that is
our
from
DJ.
our DJ.
Yeah.
And he's actually the one that takes care of the streaming, that looks that everything works fine, that changed the layout, while Elsa and I just speak to each other and don't have to take care of that. That would be a little bit too much. My tip
big help. Yeah, and so actually, if any of our viewers also know of a tea community or tea meetups in London, I would be very excited to know more about those as well.
Oh yeah. That would, well, of course, now with COVID is always when you meet with friends in one thing, and if you have to do something public, is always difficult.
Yeah, for sure. It's a bit tricky. But
Alain is speaking about the long aftertaste of Rogui.
Yeah, for sure.
That Rogui is really special in the sense that it's really an organic tea, and it's very, very hard to find organic tea from Uishan. So not from Uishan in general, but a Ui rock tea, organic, simply because although you always say in the Ui mountain, there are more hills than mountain, are very low altitude. So like 200-300 meters, maybe up to 400. So it's very hot, and there are a lot of mosquitoes. When you are high in the mountain. So because of that, it's very difficult to cultivate without using at all with any pesticides and nothing. Even those that are legal, just because it's too much. So, but we came in contact with this factory, and this is a small factory, but they have a business in Japan, and Japan is more sensitive with respect to organic tea than it is China. And so,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's it basically. And so they did the organic certification, and they, for example, they have a lot of lamps that they turn on at night just to attract the mosquitoes and these kind of things. Yeah.
Were you looking for organic tea when you found this one, or?
Honestly, I don't remember. I remember how I came in touch with them. I mean, just a friend of friends, of course, as always. But I'm not so sure, actually. They are not, of course, in the protected area. They are just outside, just on the other side of the river.
Okay.
There is no organic tea in the protected area, and I think if someone pretends there is wrong. And you can tell just by looking at the bushes. When you go in the protected area and you walk around, all the leaves are perfect, lush green, nothing broken. Last year when we were on the tea tour, we were harvesting faux show, but we were outside of the protected area. And they have a very low maintenance garden, and you could tell because when we harvesting the leaves, although they were fresh leaves, they were already bugs bitten.
Okay.
Yeah. But when you go in the protected area, and I'm sure that those that are online that have been last year with us, they can confirm, you walk just through these bushes and they look like painted, like perfect. So there is certainly no organic tea. And Jan is saying that he likes the teaware from NanNuoshan. It's a bit more vegetal than I would like, but on the other side, it's also very sweet and fruity. I see that, yeah.
Yes, I definitely recommend the rogui. It's really
and it's a very affordable tea, right? Because despite being organic, he's outside of the protected area, so they don't they don't go very high with the price. So it's a kind of affordable, yeah.
And actually, the other thing that I was going to say when we were talking about organic is, interestingly enough, in Japan, in the tea production, there's less of a natural concern with organic as well. And I think it's more of a recent thing as they're exporting more and more, for example, to the EU and to Europe, where people care a lot about things organic, things being organic, that producers are having to adjust their farming methods. But originally, and definitely with Japanese tea, organic is not a qualifier for quality, and hasn't been really at the forefront of most producers' minds until more recently. So,
and also, I think, personally, that's my view. I buy organic food, especially in the US, but for me, tea is relatively, like when I buy salad, I eat a lot of salad every day, so I really take care that it is good salad. But maybe in a month, I eat kilograms of salad, right? But if I steep tea, it's just a few grams, and I don't eat the leaves. So I have to pay. I prefer to pay much more attention about where I get my vegetables, and if a tea is not organic, as long as it's within the limit. For me personally, is fine. Yeah. Also because very small farmers, they can't really have organic certification. So at the very end, they might have organic tea, just they don't have the money and the interest for getting the certification.
Yeah, because it's so expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading here that Anne-Charlotte has a friend in Sweden. Anne-Charlotte is from Sweden, and she loves rogu, she's writing. Yeah, Sweden, another very hot place, of course. So rogu. And guys, here we are, Elsa and I, we are just, making questions to each other. But if you have any question for us, that's the right time. Here we are. Just ask whatever you want. Doesn't mean we answer, but you can ask. Hot. Oof. It's really warm here. Yeah, I tell you. And I have the air conditioning on, but still, it's.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the end of summer in the US. It can be a bit intense.
Yeah.
So you mentioned there's a game going on.
Yes. Do we want to
say more about
people
that?
Can start thinking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do a tea game. Well, it's a tea game. It's not that you have to guess a tea, you know already what we are drinking. So it's something different. So you know that in the time of COVID, everyone works in a different way. Like I don't go anymore to the office right now. Elsa ended up being in the UK, and she was, in another country, another continent, even just a year ago. So everything changes. And at NannuoShan, we had also to change. Like we couldn't go to China. We had to source tea from the same farmers, but in a different way. And that I mentioned also in previous live streaming. And we have more time because we spend more time at home to do other things. So one is the Pu-erh project that we'll talk later about. But not only that, we have also time to think how to optimize, for example, our website. And there are actually a few changes that we have done recently. And Elsa, now that I'm thinking, actually, we say that there are 3 main changes, but there are actually 4. So I don't know. I cannot tell you now which one, but Well, let's put it like this, guys. There have been many changes on the website by three major changes. Okay, actually there are four, but if you guess three of them, you will get a 20 euro voucher. Don't start writing if you know just one of the three, because other people may take your idea and then they win instead of you.
Oh,
Just
good point.
check out our website. There are three major changes that if you're used to go to our website, just by navigating a little bit around and even not navigating, you should be able to see them. And I said, Elsa, I don't know if you can think about that, but there
Think
are
about the fourth
four.
one.
And we have forgotten to make, because I wrote them here. I have here three, so I can show you at the end. Here they are. The one that guess, I will put them. I will put them online. And I say there is a fourth one, so even if you guess the fourth one, you can replace one of those three. 20 euro voucher for the NannuoShan website. And you know, we love to do these tea games. And I wish I would come up more often with tea game. Sometimes I don't have ideas, so I do my YouTube videos and I say, yeah, what should I ask for a tea game? And I'm just in stress because I have to film all the script that I have written. So if you have ideas of tea games, just let us know. We are, glad to do those for you.
So actually, everyone is going to stop watching the live stream and is just going to be on the website
right,
instead.
It's like the website again. I see that actually there is a question from Anne-Charlotte. When do you come to Berlin again? I think that's a question for me. Well, it's complicated. It's because of COVID. So usually I go back to Europe once every 3 to 4 months, and I visit Berlin basically every time. Now, the problem is that the current US administration, because of COVID, decided that some visas won't be released anymore, so that they can improve or reduce the unemployment rate. So basically, instead of taking people from abroad and bringing them to the US, like me, I'm coming from abroad and I'm working here, let's stop releasing those visas so that US citizens can take those jobs. And my visa is affected. Now, they say they are not going to release the visa anymore. And on my passport, I have the visa already and it's valid for another 2 years. But I don't know what happens if I exit the country and I try to enter again.
But so is it that they're no longer reissuing visas like this, or is it that they
the website is not clear.
Oh gosh.
Not clear. So I'll have to call the embassy and see. But it's a problem. You go out of the country, and when you go back, you arrive at the border. They say, or maybe at the airport, they check your visa. Which visa you have? Oh, this one. Sorry. So then what do I do? So I had to cancel my flight that I had in May, and as of today, I don't know, because I have to find out the situation. Maybe on I think it's the 3rd of November, we get a new president, and then maybe the things will change. But as for now, that's the situation. I'm stuck in the US. I had a flight to Mexico. I think it was for this month, and I had to cancel. I cannot fly because I don't know if I can fly back in.
So how does it make you feel? Are you a bit anxious about it?
No, not really anxious. Well, it's more that I'm kind of in prison in the US. But yeah, maybe I have just to find out and call the embassy and make sure that I can do that. I just didn't have the time yet. So Joe is writing, the picture of new tea sessions are gone. Okay. I probably speaking about himself being without t-shirt in his tea garden brewing tea. Joe has a beautiful tea garden. It is on a hill just in front of the Zurich lake. And from the garden, you see half of the lake in front of you.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
yeah, that's one of the things that I miss the most from Switzerland. We do often a tea session in his garden. He has a small hut up there. It's not the garden of his house. It's just, outside close to the hood. And we meet up there and even have food there and have tea. We had very long tea sessions there.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Let me see. Oh, there is someone or people already answering here. Oh, Jesus, I'm they are of course participating to the tea game. Let me see. I think that the first one that tried to answer is Alan. He wrote, look at the first point, carousel on the main page. Elsa, this is the one that we forgot. You remember? This is the first one that we have implemented and we forgot mentioning. So this is the fourth one that we say. Link to teaware in tea. Okay, Alan, that was already there for a very, very long time. The link to teaware in tea was there. Sorry, that's not the change. Good try, but we had that for years. At Allen, I would say NanNuoshan is really great dance song. The most interesting for me was Wanjixian. Here it is. Ta-da! The next one I'm drinking. Still actually in the box that was given to me by the farmer.
Oh, amazing. And did you say it's your favorite, actually?
Yeah. I even did a video, which is my favorite tea, Wanjixian. Like if I have to go on an island for the rest of my life, or maybe in the US for the rest of my life, let's pretend we stop importing tea from China. Can well be right nowadays, then I would just order 10 kilo of Wanjixians to have my tea for the rest of my life.
10 kilos? You think that'll be enough for the rest of your life?
New category saucer in teaware. New category. Also that one, saucer, we have had that for a very long time. So let's say the next one, the anima template, that might be Julian, I think. Is it right? Anima template, is it you, Julian? A lot of YouTube videos are linked on the main page. Direct links to blog article on the main page, a direct link to the newest teas in the shop. Let me see, a direct link to the newest teas in the shop. No, I mean, two
new arrivals
have already been there for a long time. Try out more.
Those are all great guesses.
Yeah, put all the three in the together in the same message so that it's easy for us to identify. And maybe if you write in capital letter T games, it helps us, realizing we have to read that message. By the way, what I want to say, I had something in my mind that I forgot. Yes, if no one during the live streaming will guess, of course, those that will watch offline can try and just write in the comment below, which is the answer, right? And to me, it's if you are used to go on our website and you navigate a bit around, that should be clear. So, Forgotten Brew mentioned something that is a bit everything mixed. Guys, put all three in the same comments. Otherwise, 1 to 3 is difficult for us to understand. If you in different messages you gave all three.
A good start. Forgotten Brew. Good start.
Good start, though.
So you were talking about how with all of these COVID lockdowns and changes, how it's led to some new developments and some. So were there any other particularly crazy episodes for you, or?
I have to say that the major thing is, of course, that I have been a peasant for 6 months now, basically homeless. So in February, I went to Europe just for a couple of weeks. And when I was flying back, I was supposed to go to DC, just spend a couple of days here where Caroline is, and then go back to Denver. I never made it back to Denver in February. I had just one luggage. And since we had to do teleworking, I just stayed in Denver, and I was, in DC, and I was working from here for a few months. and then became warm, and I had to buy t-shirts because I had only one luggage and all winter clothes. And then I went to Denver just for 2 days to pick up all my stuff and drive down to Alabama. It was the time to move to Alabama in June. So Caroline came as well. We took all my stuff, rented a car, and drive the 2,000 kilometers from Denver to Alabama.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then I set up.
How long did it take? 1 week?
3 days. 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah. So we stopped a little bit on the way. It was a nice road trip. Yeah, you see quite a few places on the way. Yeah. So and then south. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if there is any answers here. 10 kilo enough. Gabriele Sisto. Joyce said enough for me.
That's a great comment.
Yeah, thank you. You see that there are messages written by NannuoShan, but my hands are here and Elsa's hands are there. It's Ziggy that help us not only with our art director and film director, is also taking care of communication. He's our communication manager as well.
Thank you, Ziggy.
Hausmeister, a German version is new. I don't get that.
Was there always a German and an English version
of
the website? Yeah.
One time there was even Italian, but then it was too much for me to keep on translating. So I gave up there, and now we have Jens doing all translation in German.
We should have, if we have one in all the languages you speak, that's quite a bit.
Right. Well, what I can tell that actually in a way or the other, at least 3 out of 4 big changes have been mentioned. Maybe not exactly that, but very close to it. So if you connect the dots, you get the whole picture. Yeah, there is actually one thing that no one mentioned, and that is more clearly visible when you are on desktop than on mobile. I'm trying to help here. Yeah, and Elsa, what about you actually? I mean, I say the main problem for me with COVID-19 was being a peasant without a house for 6 months, and still now. Now I finally found a house in Alabama, so I have
good.
So at least that.
That's great.
But
yes, so actually I think we've shared this homeless factor, because for me, I think that the wildest thing about this whole COVID-19 development, which came as such a surprise, was, so I'd actually been feeling so I was working for a New York City based tea company, but working remotely. So that enabled me to kind of work from anywhere. And I'd been feeling the pull of Taiwanese teas for a while, and of Taiwan. And so I was actually planning to move to Taiwan. And my flight was on the exact day that France was locked down. So actually, I remember being in the kitchen and having my suitcases all packed and just no flight to get on, nowhere to go. And so then I ended up also, being very lucky and spending the lockdown at home with my parents, which ended up being kind of this unexpected gift of COVID-19, I think, as an adult, getting to spend this extended period with my parents, which I hadn't done in a long time. And so that was quite lovely, but as well, I was basically just homeless and living off of the generosity of my parents during this lockdown. So it's felt good to now arrive in London and start the wheels spinning again a little bit.
Yeah. I wish actually also that I would have a period where I can just stay at home with my parents, having my mom cooking and me doing, just hanging around and just enjoying it.
Yeah.
That was when I was a child. That would be nice. Yeah, and I see that people are still trying here. Joe is trying. Italian gone. Joe, Italian was gone, as I said just before. Italian was gone years ago. We are speaking here at changes that happened in the past. Let's say one of them 2 days ago, the other one 2 weeks ago, and the other one 1 week ago. So within the past 2 weeks, things have changed.
Yeah, so it requires people to go on the website quite
Hey
a
guys, I thought you know our website better. I see that actually some of you have identified a few of the changes, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit.
You guys don't go on our website every day? What's on the NannuoShan website every day? What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, Noor, our internet designer, did a great job in all those changes, and actually, they were really changes that we thought, let's do it because we believe that. Sorry. We believe that actually our customer will enjoy it more. They will be more useful for them. So are all actually changes that should either simplify navigation or remove some of the kind of bug that we had previously when someone was using the website on a small screen or with small resolution. Then we wanted that when people land up on our homepage, they don't have to navigate to search content, that they get more content on the homepage. Yeah, so these kind of things. Try it out, put them all in a message. You have time, the first one that gets them, it can be also next week. We will.
But Housemeister's comment was quite lovely to hear that it feels like good changes are happening.
The good shop section.
So thank you.
And French. Lots of good changes there, I feel. Zoom possibility on image, for example.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the zoom, also the zoom, the fact that you can click on images and they enlarge, that has been there for a while on product pages and also on the blog. In the blog was added later. On the product pages has been there from day one, 2015.
This is a hard one.
Yeah. Oh, Conrad, cool. Thanks for the Pu-erh project and the new TDL. Yeah, I'll tell you more soon about the Pu-erh project and the new TDL. Maybe actually we can start with the Pu-erh project. So
yeah, talking about changes.
Where to start? Well, let's put it this way. Let's say that with COVID-19, we had, I get distracted by the chat. With COVID-19, we had time to think about new things to do. We had Elsa that was more and more contributing to NannuoShan. And so we say, Elsa, I mean, you have a lot of experience in the tea industry. You have been working also in other industries. What do you think that that our customer are interested in? Would you like to do a customer interest analysis, like analyzing which are actually our customers' wishes and need, and see if we meet them or we have to get better in something? And out of all these improvement activities that we have done actually on multiple channels, we have also came up with some of the changes that we are making on the website. And Elsa came up with a fairly long list of things that we don't have, that we have too little, that we have to improve, and that we believe you guys are actually missing. And which was the very first bullet on top of the list, Elsa?
More Pu-erh.
Yeah, that's what we have realized, right? I mean, Pu-erh is one of my favorite tea. And we've just seen that there is a certain interest for Pu-erh, but on our website, although we have a fair good offer of Pu-erh, it could be more. It could be more, and also could be a little bit different. So basically, Elsa challenged me because Elsa is in Dansog, is in Japanese green tea, is now in rock teas, but she's not into Pu-erh.
I will be
You will be.
one day. just haven't gotten there yet. Too many good teas
Let me see
to drink.
quickly here the messages. Who is I for Pu-erh? Yeah, so about this Pu-erh project. So I was thinking, what shall we do? And so she challenged me. She said, we need more Pu-erh, and we need more Pu-erh that actually exactly the Pu-erh that people are searching. And so what we've done the following, basically. We have selected some categories. First of all, shampoo. So we want to focus now on this project on raw Pu-erh, and in particular on aged Pu-erh. So, for me, it's also very pleasant to try new teas, new Pu-erh, even from this year or just 1 or 2 years. But there is certainly an interest there from you and from me as well, actually, on aged tea. So the idea was, let's look back in the years and let's focus actually on 3 different type of producers. The first one is very, very, very large factories. The big names like Dai, like Zhongcha, like Shaguan. So let's offer some teas of those very renowned factories. Actually, Dai, we had a lot of them at the beginning of NanNuoshan, then sold out and I didn't buy anymore, but still always focusing on older tea rather than new. So that's the first one. The second one is exactly the opposite, is very, very small factories that, family driven basically, or maybe driven just by one person, so that if we don't go for the very, very big names, we don't want to stop in that middle field, and then we want to support, let's say, the fair and sustainable trade. So very, very small factories. Kind of the type of business as large as NanNuoshan, so very, very small actually. And then the third one is buy directly from the farmers, which is different than going to a very small factory, because who runs a very small factory is not the farmer that owns the field and go out and pick the leaves. So you may ask yourself then what you have excluded if you go for very large, very small, and the farmers. Well, what we have excluded is a lot. I said all this middle size and that is meant, for wholesale and large quantities is excluded. But what we have also excluded is that we don't want, as always, have any in-between players. We want to buy directly by the producer, and if it is not possible, because that for aged tea, they don't have the tea anymore because they sold it out, we are going to buy the tea directly by the person that bought it originally. So it means that we have selected a few persons that we know in China that are reliable and that we have been knowing them for years, and we have asked them which tea did they buy, which Pu-erh did they buy. Of course, I'm speaking about tea shops in China. So friend of us that run tea shops, Pu-erh tea shop, which tea they bought back in the days and can sell us. And another important aspect that I want to mention is, and here is a thing that for sure Joe knows it, but I don't know how many of you know, is the role of tea dealer in the Pu-erh industry. Or I would say rather tea agent is probably the right word. It means that many of the Western tea shop, Pu-erh tea shop, actually have not only Pu-erh, actually, I have to say, but in Pu-erh is more widespread, have a single person in China that is their agent. And this agent collect tea from them for different sources. And then these all these sources, he collect them, and the agent sell the tea to the Western shop. So the Western shop doesn't have the contact with all the sources. He has just this agent, and he says, oh, people are interested in Bingdao. Can you find the Bingdao? And the dealer go out, search the Bingdao, and give them the Bingdao, and so on. So we don't want that. We want to know actually who is the producer, or when it is a tea that is 10, 15 years old, we want at least to know the person that took the tea directly from the producer. I see there is a question here. Hausmeister asks, maybe you could do an early tea ocean event for super old Pu-erh tea cakes. Yeah, that's would be
That's cool.
possible. The problem is that when we speak about super old Pu-erh, it would be extremely expensive, I tell you. So, of course, there are possibilities out there when you can navigate the web and you can find 20, 30, 40 years old Pu-erh that are affordable, but you should really question the authenticity there. If you really want, let's say, even a die from the early 90s, yeah, just a cake, you should look at the range between let's say starting from 1,500 euros, pretty much, yeah. So that's the point, unfortunately, with very old tea, that if we do an ocean, we have to start very high because the costs are extremely high, and that's the whole point, right? So we don't want to. I mean, for me, it's super easy, you know. If I want to sell you tea that I buy from someone that tell me this tea is 30 years old, I can find it and sell it to you for very little money. But I'm sure it's not the right thing. That's there are so many fakes out there. So the tea ocean would be nice for sure, but it's very difficult to realize because of these very high costs. Anyway, what we have done is we have started contacting all these contacts, and there are not so many actually. We have selected 4 of them. So 4 actually good friends of mine that have been sourcing tea for the past 20 years in China. And we have collected a long list of tea from them with pictures and information and so on. I think now we are above 50 different teas. And this is the point where we started involving some of you that is even in the chat right now. We won't tell any names. And we have this idea of getting the help and the contribution from you to select the Pu-erh. So we have selected some of you that have a lot of Pu-erh knowledge, and we are going to choose a tea together. So now we have down selected out of these 50, we've down selected about 20. And these 20 now, they are being samples that are being organized for us, all shipped to Shanghai. And in the next day, those samples will be shipped to us. We will taste the tea, and then we will decide which tea we buy. So the product I'm talking to you about, it's something that you will see on our website, in many months from now. This is, unfortunately, the time is needed to do this project. But there are good news. This project started even earlier in a smaller scale. So we do have some new Pu-erh that just arrived in Berlin. And I still have to start tasting. I mean, actually, Dimitri tasting it and writing the product page. We just took the picture of the product, but I think in the next weeks, maybe 1 month, 1.5 months, there will be maybe 5, 6, 7, something like that, different Pu-erh on the website. And then later on, we will have this new project. Yeah.
And Gabriele, Alain is asking, will you continue to offer samples for the new Pu-erh teas?
Yeah. That's the idea. The only case where we won't be able to offer sample is some of those cake are expensive, and some of those are extremely expensive, really very, very expensive. So if we don't know, because we will get sample and we will see. If we decide to buy 1 or 2 cakes, let's say from the early 90s that are super expensive, then we will buy maybe just 1 ton or even just 3 binchan. Think about a cake that costs 2,000 euros. You don't buy 10 kilos of it, also because it's not available. So you just buy a few cakes. And for those few cakes, if it is 2 or 3 cakes, for example, we're not going to break them. We just sell the whole cake. With this exception, for all the rest, we definitely will continue offering also samples. So we will have maybe some tea. And I have to say, I found some very interesting factory. There is a guy that is my age, a bit older than I, and started pretty much in the same time as NannuoShan started. So we have a kind of similar approach. And he's from a place in Yunnan. I won't give you any detail now. And he said, I want just to offer gushu tea, because he knew a lot of contact from farmers, because it's the place where he has been growing up. So his whole offer is only gushu. And actually, he calls gushu everything that is said to be older than 100 years. Sometimes other people say more 300, but it's definitely old trees. And he has a very lean line, so not so many products that he offers. And actually, he was going to go bankrupt the year before, after he opened, because it's just a single person that does it. He bought a lot of tea. Those tea is expensive, wasn't able to sell, so he almost closed the doors. And he managed to survive. And now he's still very small, but it has been already a few years that he's been out there. So this is one of the example of small factories that I was mentioning. Oh, I speak a lot. I think I have so guys, if you have any question about the project, let me know. The Anima template, I'm going to switch now to Pu-erh. Yeah, that makes sense. And since actually I mentioned this contribution from one of you that will help us in the selection of Pu-erh, and is actually really expert about Pu-erh. I want to mention also another contribution that we had recently. I was contacted by one of you that also is in the chat right now. And he asked me, Gabriele, I would like to buy a silver teapot. And a silver teapot, you don't have them on your website. Other shops offer them, but I don't like their design, whatever. Do you have any silver teapot that you can find? I would say, okay, let's find it out. Actually, he was asking about Jindagen, I think, if I could find something in Jindagen. But Jindagen is specialized in pottery. They are not specialized in silver teaware. Silver teaware is more in Yunnan, actually. I think in the north of Yunnan, Dali and so on. And I would say, I will ask around. So I just asked around some of my contacts. And the good thing is actually one of our artists, the one that does the artisanal cups and artisanal picture and artisanal gaiwan, he has a friend from Yunnan, an artist that studied silver pottery making and is now for some months in Jindagen to sell his products, because in Yunnan is not really able to do business because no one is there. So I came in contact with this artist and he proposed me different silver teapot. And actually it took a few months because I didn't have a lot of time, and our customer really, our expensive cup is completely made of silver, and he wanted to see new models and so, but then at the end we found one that he liked and we bought it. And at that point, I also fell in love with the same pot, so I bought one for me as well. And since I was there, I bought also a couple for NannuoShan. So I don't know when, because the pot are actually still in China, but somewhere in the future, we will have also silver teapots on our website. And by the way, it is very, very pure silver, so it's 99.99% silver, while in Japan and in other places, they use 95% silver. So it is an alloy that is much harder. So silver is a little bit softer metal. So you have to take care when you use it a little bit, but it is extremely pure silver. And of course, guys, if you are in the chat and you want to reveal yourself and tell who you are, that are working with us, feel free to do so. I just, don't want to make your name. And so I think for the Pu-erh, we want to keep it secret because, I didn't read the whole chat. Maybe he already mentioned it, but we want to keep it hidden for now. All right, so.
It also feels like a natural transition to maybe another teaware topic, and just to keep, to keep you talking. But there's another exciting teaware development.
Which one?
The new tea deal.
Oh, the new tea deal. Yeah, we have the new tea deal. Let me change my tea, and then I tell you about the new tea deal. And be ready, because the tea deal will be, I will say it right now, and you can do the tea deal directly on the chat if you want some. So you know what? I switch my set. I go minimal.
Oh, perfect. You had a little trail prepared.
Yeah, I have my baby guy one here that I love for doing dancing. And this cup is actually, unfortunately, we were not able to take very nice picture of this cup for the product page, but this is one of my favorite cups. It's actually extremely thin porcelain. I don't know if I can show you how thin that is, but well, you can see my finger. You see my finger through? And I am here in the shadow.
Oh, yeah.
And despite the shadow,
Yeah.
you can see my finger through. It's extremely thin. I would say 1 millimeter, maybe 1.5. And of course, it's Jindagen porcelain. I think we call it cone cup on the website. Anyway, it's not expensive because we bought it many years ago. There should be some left. And yeah, it's really worth the money, actually. So we said I go for Huanjixian. Oh, the Anima Temple revealed. I cannot wait to try the silver teapot. So yeah, the Anima Temple is the... So Julian is the guy that actually, when you will see, we will have only 2 silver teapot online. You know, those teapots are really expensive. Yeah? They're quite heavy. It's pure silver. They are completely made by hand. It takes a lot of time. So they are not cheap. They're not cheap. Will be the most expensive teapot on our website for sure. But I thought, you know, after we've done so much for Julian, for finding the... So Joe, I will go now for a lot of tea, not just a little. That's the way I do dancing. So maybe 10 kilograms are not enough for me.
I think for a lifetime, 10 kilo is not enough.
Look at this. They are even showing out, you see, full diamond full of leaves. Maybe a bit more. And if Karen is watching, she will be angry at me because this is actually her tea. I always say that when I use my tea, I just put 3 grams, and when I put double the which is of course not true. Yeah, porcelain teapots, yeah, it's also a good idea. I'm reading myself. I mean, I see that NannuoShan wrote, but it's actually Ziggy. First tip, 2 minutes. No, I won't steep it for 2 minutes. I mean, it's dancing style, it's Chaozhou style. We even did maybe the second video that I did last summer when I revamped the channel was about Chaozhou style. No, 1 second. No, I will do something in between very quick. You know what? Today, when I was still in bed before waking up, I got an idea, and I keep on coming up in my head, but always when you speak, and I don't want to interrupt. But so actually, you see now it's Elsa and myself having this conversation here. Mathias just wrote that he's not able to join because he's at the airport now, I think in Frankfurt, but he doesn't manage to have a connection from the airport, so he's just on data, and he cannot use data for streaming outside of Switzerland. So I thought, you know, Elsa, it's not very difficult to join this call, right? I just sent you a link, basically, and you dial in, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much like a Skype call, but on the browser. So just with the link.
With a different app. Yeah.
With a different app, yeah. And actually, you don't even need the app. You can just use your computer, and I give you the link, and it works. So I thought we could do this kind, just an idea, guys. We haven't discussed it at all, but we could we could do this type of live streaming involving our audience. You know what I mean? It's like maybe on a regular basis, like let's say that once a week, once every 2 week, we have in the evening a short streaming, like it doesn't not 2 hours, just just half an hour after dinner. We say, okay, Elsa wants to have a tea tonight. Yeah, she said she has a live streaming. She goes online, and everyone that want to join her, like you do now, can do in the chat, drinking tea. But if you want to join with your camera, your audio, and interact with us in the same way that Elsa and myself do it right now, you can just do it. You just knock on the door in the chat. You say, "I want to participate." We send you a link. You put the link, and you are in the call, and you drink tea with us. I mean, honestly, I don't know how many of you would like to join, and be public like us and be on our stream. But the nice thing is that I think
yeah, Gabriele, your camera is
yeah, and
frozen.
just sometime it happens. I will be back soon. I think soon. Anyway, I can keep on. Come on, talking here. Yeah,
Yeah, you're back.
and I'm back, and yeah, what do you think about that? We don't use Zoom. I see that Matthew mentioned Zoom. Yeah, Zoom is now very popular. We use another platform, but would work as well. We can have up to 4 people in the same call. So the idea is that we might even not announce it, but we might say, okay, tonight let's have a streaming. We publish it on Instagram. We're going live, and whoever join and knock the door, we send him a private link. We cannot send it here in the chat, otherwise everyone could join. We send it to you privately, and you can just join us, and you can join us just for 10 minutes, have a tea with us, and then the next one get in, and it's like getting in and out from an apartment. Yeah,
I love that. It's like it's just having a tea party with all
like having a tea party.
these people.
Very
Yeah.
easy. So please let us know if you would be up for joining it, and if at least a couple of you say yes, why not? Maybe we will start, and we will start right with you for the first time, sending you already an email in advance so that yeah, we can organize that.
And maybe it's one guest each time, or maybe you're right, and it is kind of an open door, people coming and going. But I love that idea. I think that's a lot of fun.
Joe, look how many leaves. It's full.
Actually, I'm gonna boil my water again. So it might get a little loud.
Yes, yeah, Matthew, Ellen, it's a great idea, Jan. I would try it. Very nice idea from Julian. Okay, it seems, guys, that at least some of you are liking the ideas. Yeah, let's give us another couple of weeks to think about how to get that organized. And you know what?
Maybe with funny questions.
I'm writing down the names of those that are saying that they might be interested, and I will, guys, contact you when we're ready, so that maybe we have with you the first Joe is writing, maybe with funny costume. As long as you wear your t-shirt, that's fine. Then we have Matthew. Would you like to do that? Would be nice to be not the only one from the US. Alain, Matthew, and then Gabriele say, could you tell a bit about aging of Danson, please? Okay, Gabriele, the other Gabriele, I will tell about that soon. Just let me write some names. Where are the others? Alain, Jan. Jan mentioned. Joe, would you like to join us? Joe, tell me yes. You can wear any costume you want. No, Matthew, I'm not so sure I have your email. Can you write me an email at info@nannuoshan.org or gabriele@nannuoshan.org, so that I can contact you when we will do the streaming? Joe, you haven't replied yet. Yeah, here you go. That's the email. Okay, I have here on my list Ellen, Matthew, Jan, and Julian. So let me know if anyone else. And don't forget that you have a tea game going on, and that go there, check our website. Something has changed on the homepage. I mean, on the homepage, guys, that's the page that you always open when you go on our website. Something had changed on the collection pages. Collection means green tea, the page where you see all green teas, the page where you see all Gaiwan, the page where you see your Ishin pot. Those pages have changed. And something about menu have changed as well. So check out our menus, check out our collection pages, check out our homepage. Among these 3 pages, there are at the very least 4 changes. If you guess 3, you get €20 voucher. Yeah, we did it in Zoom, but it was a bit trouble with so many people. I say we do it only with 4 people maximum, and that would work out. So whether we are not too many and would be too messy.
And then the following time, different people.
Alain say, do we have more than one to try? What are you referring to?
For the tea game. Yes. Try again.
Oh, yes, try. Just put them all in a message that it's easier for us. Gabriele, you asked about aging of Danson. All right. Aging of Danson, first of all, is not common. So people in China do not intentionally really age Danson. That doesn't mean that it's not there, but it's not like Pu-erh or like white tea that that is kind of popular to be aged. So my experience is that even after several years without storage in the fridge, it's still extremely fragrant and very similar to when it was fresh. Take this tea, this Huangjishan. I cannot check right now on the website when I sourced it, but it is for sure 4 or 5 years old. And it's nothing, there is no aging in there. It's like a bouquet of oranges and orange blossoms, very fragrant, very kind of light as well. Now, nonetheless, after more years of aging, let's say 10, 20, 30 years, then you have major changes. And I mentioned already in another video when we did the tasting with Caroline of a Danson from 1961. And by the way, that shop, Chi Fine Tea in Portland, Oregon, was suggested to me by Elsa. So, and they have a Danson from 1961. So if you want to see the effect on a tea that is older than, basically that tea was produced before we went to the moon, then you can watch that video, search for Danson 1961 on our website or in the Oolong section, and you can see which were our opinion. A tea that changed drastically, really. But what Chi Fine Tea say? They say they have another one from 1993. I have it as well, just 8 grams, but I bought it actually for a friend of ours, for Severin. When I go to Switzerland, I will bring that tea to him, and maybe we do a video about that. So I haven't tasted it. 1993, it is almost 30 years old. And Chi Fine Tea, they say that that tea is at the very peak of maturity. And the 61 is just too old. All the fragrances have gone, and you have this just very different taste. But they say that that would be a reference. So to summarize, a Danson is very consistent with its taste for the first 5 to 10 years. Doesn't change a lot. Of course, it depends on the storage condition as well, right? But just to give you an idea, after that time, you have from 10 to 30 years, quite some change. I cannot describe it right now, but they say that it's still a very positive tea. After 30 years, certainly a decay start, and you start really losing some of those aromatic compounds that just break and are no more there. All right. Oh, we have some answers here. Your tea game. Jan, I had an aged Milan-shan. It was awesome. It lasted maybe 18 infusion. Fruity onion.
Sounds amazing.
So, Alain has another answer. 1, carousel. Subcategories in the menu. 3, not sure, but the search feature. Okay, Alan, yeah, I can just tell you are the one that got closer to that. The search feature has been there for much longer, but is a planned change. We want to implement it on every page, not only on the home page. It's just that you look in the future. That change is not yet there. However, you are the one, I would say, that is going closer. And in particular, you have identified one aspect that no one else have identified before. So guys, you have all the pieces of the puzzle in this chat. Just put those pieces together in one message, 1, 2, 3, and you get it. Elsa, how long have we been speaking here? 1 hour, 20 minutes. Okay. Did you switch to the other team?
I switched, but then I forgot that I had switched. And so it broke for like 10 minutes, maybe. Unfortunately, I haven't tried it yet. It's going to be a bit intense.
Yeah, my camera, sometimes it disconnects. I don't know why. I am actually a strange setup here. I have the computer in front of me, but I'm not using the webcam of the computer. I have my phone connected to the computer and pretending it is a webcam, basically. I use my phone as a webcam, which is a bit tricky, as we see, and sometimes the connection just fade out. I really love this thing. That's I know I told this several times, but
So the new tea deal, Gabriele.
Oh, the new tea deal, I forgot. Okay.
You have to tell us. You've made us so curious.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'll go for the new. Okay, so let's go for the new tea deal. How can we say that? So the new tea deal is basically a pre-sale. Let's put it this way. What does that mean? It means that actually you guys are our followers, our customer, our tea friends. It means you are following us on YouTube, you are reading our newsletter, and we want to reward you. You know that we do that already. And for example, every month you get a discount, a major discount, 50% for YouTube subscribers on one tea. And I see that many of you really, just the last newsletter, we send it out, 50% discount on in the on-cha. We gave you a code and instantly we get a lot of order just for that tea. So it works out well. We want to offer you more, and my video stopped again, which is really annoying. Plugging it back in, hopefully we'll keep still. I can actually switch also to the webcam of the laptop if needed, but anyway. So so what we want to do, we want to before, you know, when we get a tea or a teaware in our warehouse, it takes quite some time before we bring it out on the shop, because we have, you know, we cannot bring everything together at once. We need time to describe it, to take the pictures and so on. So I thought, what if we offer you that teaware or that tea in advance before it is online? Maybe, you know, I mentioned it once on a YouTube channel, I write it on a newsletter, and on top of that, we give you a discount, maybe 20, 30%, something like that. And that offer is valid until that product is online. So you have all the time you want until the product is online. You just don't know when it is online. It can be the next day, it can be after a month. And if you like the tea, the idea, if you like the teaware, you can just send us an email. We give you a bank account, you transfer us the money, and we send you the piece of teaware, for example, for a discounted price before anyone else can have it. And we will do that particularly so with fancy stuff like today. So today I will show you what will be the most exclusive teaware set that we will have on our website. So are you ready for that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I see some more answer. So Joe is still continuing with Italian is gone. Joe, Italian was gone 3 years ago. Alan, carousel, subcategories in the menu, more direct links to blog article and video on the main page.
That's true.
Shall we? Yeah. Okay. So Alan, you won.
Right? I mean, more categories, getting more.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting dark there, Elsa.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I try closing one of the.
I don't know. I know. I see you very dark. I mean, as you want. Congratulations, Alan. Yeah, so you won. So let me summarize that. First of all, on the home page, before we had just one picture on the very top. Now we have a carousel. So we have different pictures, and you can click those pictures and have a link to what you see. Another thing is that we have put more link on the home page. Before we had just a few pictures. Under the main picture, we had just a few pictures. Now we have, instead of having, I think, 12 were before, now we have 24 links. All the teas are linked there, all the teaware, a lot of YouTube video, a lot of blog, more content. Moreover, the sequence in which we put the different tea and product on the home page reflects what you click most on the website. So we did an analysis to find out which are the tea, which is the teaware that you want to see more, and put those links at the very beginning of the homepage. So congratulations, Alan, for that. The subcategories in the menu, that's the tricky one. You know that on our website, if you go on the desktop, you have a side menu. And before you had, for example, green tea and the list of all the teas. And this was a problem when the list was very long, it was running out of the screen, basically. And now we changed that. We have introduced a subcategory, nice word, because it's the same that we use, Alan. And for example, if you go now on green tea, you will see that we have just a sub-menu, Chinese green tea and Japanese green tea. And we did that because in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we will bring out all this new Japanese tea, also directly from the farm. And then we have in oolong, if you go in oolong, you will see there is now a subcategory rock tea. You can go in rock tea and you have in one page or rock tea or old danson and so on. And the last point that you mentioned, no, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. And let me see here. Yeah, there is one more change, but you already guessed 3 out of 4 that was mentioned before by Forgotten Brew. I don't know if you can see that. And it is, can you read? Or it is listed, yeah. And it is actually the prices on the collection. This means that on the collection page, when you open, for example, green tea, and you have all the picture of the green tea, now under the tea, you see the price. So, and what we put there is the minimum price for the 20 gram, not for the sample, for the 20 gram. And the same for the teaware. You open all the guy one, and below the guy one, you see the price of the guy one. So you don't have to navigate to find out which is more expensive and cheaper. Oof, I hope you enjoyed that. Alan, send me an email, info@nannuoshan.org. We'll receive it all, or just me, Gabriele @nannuoshan.org, and I will send you the code for the 20 euro voucher. Tea deal. So we say we want to offer you new products that you can have a discount for. And today I want to show you a new teaware series. I sourced it a year ago with Caroline in Jindagen, and ever since we haven't put it online. Now it's actually almost ready. Dimitri even already described the product page. I have just to review those descriptions. Jens will translate them and will be online. And it is the most exclusive teaware series because it's a series from an artist, which his name is Ryan Ron. Ryan, of course, is English name, as many Chinese do. They have an English name. Ryan is a young emerging artist, and we came to know him, I think, in 2015 for the first time. And some of you, the old customer, might remember the Black Star cup, a white porcelain cup, handmade, that had some pieces of metals embedded in the porcelain that were melting when put in the kiln. So you have this tiny spot of melted metal in the cup. This was Ryan's work, and Ryan, in the past years, have even evolved further. Now is becoming really one of the main emerging artists in Jindagen. And I'm really speaking seriously. I've heard of him from other artists in Jindagen. I have been in a fine dining restaurant in Jindagen, probably the best fine dining restaurant in Jindagen. And upon entering, there was a display of different pottery, and they were all made by him.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm not, it's kind of, it's not that easy to find him actually, because his atelier is hidden. But we had this contact, we contacted him, we visited with Caroline, and we first went in his atelier and in his tea corner, and we had tea with him, and we had an exchange about tea. And then we also switched to his one of his showroom, very minimal showroom, where he was explaining us the different ware that he has in his collection. He changed collection every year, so we were no more able to buy those cups, the Black Star cup. But what we bought is 3 items. Each of them, we have a single piece. So there is no series, all handmade, all single piece and unique. The first one is the guy one that Caroline bought as well. So I have it here, and this one here. And this guy one is what he calls the willow guy one, because there are willow leaves painted on the lid and also on the saucer and on the guy one. And this came to him because he went for a years ago to the Netherlands for a artist internship and artist exchange, and he noticed that willow trees in Europe are different than in China. It is in fact a different tree, and they have different shapes. And so starting from that observation, he started making a study about the shape of the willow leaves. And really, if you look at the willow leaves, they are very similar to these shapes. So what is the peculiarity here? First of all, handmade, hand-painted. There is his signature with Ron, his surname on the bottom. Extremely white porcelain. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, this is also extremely white, but it is very, very white. And the outside is all painted in silver. So everything you see here, that's all pure silver. And even the leaves of the willow leaves. And what he does, he paint the guy one with silver. He put it in the kiln. He takes it out. He paint again with silver the leaves. He put it back in the kiln with different temperature so that he gets a different oxidation of the silver, and he gets these motifs here.
It's gorgeous.
It really is. And this is really one of his artistic thing that we bought. The other one is a picture, a matching picture that also Caroline bought. She was super excited in that atelier. Really, she was super excited. She was saying, Gabriele, when we do now, the next year, when we do another tea tour, we don't go to do both green tea and oolong tea, as we did last year with the 2 production area. We go for 1 tea, and then you should bring your customer to Jindagen and have this experience. Maybe, guys, that's the way we will do next time, if you would like so. The other one is a picture, and here it is. You see the picture from Ryan. This picture, again, this is silver, completely silver. It is so dark because it is oxidized at high temperature, and it's super thin. I don't know if you can see it. Look how thin it is. And this is basically matching for this guy one here. And then we thought it would be nice to have also a tea tray. He has a collection of tea tray or made by hand. Caroline bought one. It is this one. Of course, all silver. And it's a wavy surface, you see. And we bought also one for NanNuoShan, very different, smaller, with a mountain painting on it, fading mountains, and a unique. Really, this guy one. He does several guy ones. Of course, he paint them always different, but it's several guy one. That tea tray is unique. He has done only one with those mountains, and that's it. And so, say that I want to tell you one more thing about this collection. And this is what really we liked the most with Caroline, is that he made this teaware collection meant to change with time. What do I mean? Take this cup. This cup will remain as it is until fall on the ground and is broken. I have also here a Ruyao teapot, and might be difficult to see it on the cam, but he starts having some cracks here, as Ruyao is meant to develop cracks under the, help me, under the, I'm missing the amyle, I'm missing the word in English. Under the glaze, sorry, under the glaze, get these cracks. And he wanted to bring this concept of the teaware aging with you while you're using one step farther. And this oxidation is going to oxidize further. The guy one will evolve over time. The leaves will get less visible and will fade out a little bit. And you start developing some, like the skin, some aging effect. You can see it very clearly on this one that has developed already some. This was all uniform color, and now it's developing, a texture on it, and also on the other side is changing. And eventually, you won't be able even to recognize anymore the leaves, the way it changes, right? Now, this will change less because it's already stronger oxidized, but those that are lighter oxidized will change a lot over time. So say that this is Ryan's work, and now we come to the tea deal, right? I told you, of course, is expensive teaware, right? It will be the most expensive tray, guy one and picture on our website. It was hard to decide if I should buy it or not, and then I thought, if Caroline is so excited, I like it as well, let's just buy one piece and see if it works out. And if you guys like it, we can buy more from Ryan. Might not be this collection, maybe next one. So the guy one, we will sell this guy one for 230 euros on the website. You can have it today or tomorrow or until it is published for almost 50 euros less, for 175. Okay, so I hope, it's really good deal. Then the picture will be sell this picture for 125, and you can have it for 95. So it's about 30% discount. And the tea tray, we will sell it for 170, and you can have it for 129. So that's the deal. And if you like to have a piece of art from Ryan, and those pieces will grow in value over the years. And if you are a person that are not afraid of having aging or your teaware, that might be the right thing for you. There are people that really like having Elsa their wear that remain always the same, right? And they would get upset if over time they see look at these leaves here that are fading out, this here, for example, and they see, oh, that's not nice. If that's not for you, but if you like his idea of teaware changing with use, then I think is a good concept. Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful concept, especially inspired by willow trees, which also change with the seasons and time. So lovely.
Definitely. And I found even a shorter video. I don't remember if it's actually on YouTube or another platform, of Ryan, and he shot that video when he was in the Netherlands, explaining all these willow leaves concept that then he developed in his wear years later.
Oh.
And he has a beautiful atelier. So he's saying, oh, he was repeating to me, Gabriele, I know they are expensive, but he was saying my margin is so little because he actually used even gold in some other wares. He has a cup that is completely gold. And he said he buys the silver and the gold from Germany because he doesn't trust the Chinese, the Chinese product. I think, I mean, he's exaggerating. Maybe for gold is true, but is also quite precious material, of course, that he's using. Oh, let me see. There are some questions here.
People are finding it.
Crackling craze, yeah. Would buy if I was looking for John Shui teapot first. Yeah, first thing first. Yeah, lovely. And actually, my favorite is actually the picture. That's the one I use the most because these glaze almost look like metal. In fact, it is, right? Silver is a metal, but it is so thin. So when you look on the side, it feels like, oh wow, it must be heavy, must be metal, and then it's so thin porcelain that's that what astonishing me. And the inside is lightly yellow because the porcelain is so thin that you see the silver through, basically. Anyway, yeah, I was very excited when I met Ryan.
And so is the teaware currently in Berlin or is it still on its way?
No, it's in Berlin. It has been in Berlin for long. We have taken pictures of it. Everything is ready. Actually, my intention was to offer this teaware to you before we made the product description, because I said it's only one piece of teaware. So basically, our margin is not high, right? Because it's one piece. And nonetheless, we have to take picture of the teaware. We have to make product description, and of course, we have cost for it. Dimitri works for us. We have to pay him, of course, when he does a description, and the same for the photos, of course. And I thought I will offer this before Dimitri describes it, and then he sent me a message 3 days ago. Gabriele, I described the teaware, so the description is done. So okay, that job is already done, but nonetheless, I thought, okay, I will keep the same price to you guys.
And it's
I still, you know,
you're inspired to start writing.
No, I didn't mention that to him because he was on vacation last week, so he didn't know. And while he was on vacation, actually, he worked at those descriptions. Yeah. Yeah, and Ziggy is writing that he likes the picture as well. It's really nice because it's that thing that can be, you know, there are people that like rough teaware, and there are people that like very pure and clean line. Yeah. And this, how would you where do you put it? You know, it has this metal heavy feeling, and at the same time, it's kind of thin. Can be both. Yeah. How is your shooting going?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Very like caramelly, walnut, nutty.
Nice.
Yeah. And you on your end?
Oh well, I love wanjishan, and I love it steeping it in this way. Really, this concentrate, almost juicy taste that you get out of it. It's unique for me. And Dansong is not famous at all in China. I would say probably is even more famous among tea lovers outside of China than in China.
Really?
Yeah, people that like drink Pu-erh in China, they are all focused on Ui rock tea, all focused on Tieguanyin. Well, now less Tieguanyin is in decay. We'll do a longer steeping just for Joe. So, guys, how are you doing today? What are you drinking?
Yeah, and Alain, I'm curious to hear what you thought. Also, if you moved on to the Shui Jingui, what did you think of it, Alan? Since we're drinking the same
Oh,
tea.
yeah. Must be much lighter than the Rogu, isn't it?
Well, and actually, it has. I think because I over steeped it by so long, it's not so light. Uh, actually, the roast is quite strong. But I steeped it for like 10 minutes.
I see that Severin, I think, is written Sevi de Bob. I think it's Severin online, and he's drinking a Baozhong from the 90s. Very interesting. And Severin, I just mentioned before, I don't know if you were online, I mentioned then Danzog 1993 that I bought for you by Fine Tea. I think it's a Milanshan from 1993. We will have to do a video about that. So when I bring it to Switzerland, when I can go out of the US prison, then we will do a video. You know, guys, Severin, we have done a very nice video. I suggest you go ahead and have a look at it. And it is, I think we call it Why We Love Pu-erh. And Severin loved Pu-erh, I love Pu-erh as well. And I visited him in Switzerland in his house, and we did this video together. Go check it out. It is in the playlist Tea and Friends, or NannuoShan and Friends. I don't remember how we call it. And Matt is drinking Taiwanese indeed. We have Longjing, Jingmai Sheng from 2013. That's good, interesting. I also recently had some Sheng from Jingmai. Definitely an interesting place. A lot of old tea trees there. Joe is by Bohertan.
And
So Anna is answering, yeah, to you.
Maybe more like a forest honey. I see that. Yeah, I like that.
Elsa, I have one topic. Is a thing that actually I really wanted to bring also on a YouTube video, but then I thought it's really a topic that you can speak about 20 minutes and really do an interesting video about. I don't know. But one thing, so let's put it this way. I have a tea quiz for you guys. You don't win anything, just a question. So what do you think is the tea that I would say we sell less, the tea category that we sell less, or I would say, what do you think is the tea category in the Western world that Pu-erh lover, we are speaking at people like us that drink really farmer tea really whole leaves, picked by hand, processed by hand, our community, which do you think is the tea type that we consume the least? Among white tea, green tea, let's say white tea, green tea, oolong, black tea, Pu-erh, and dark tea.
And yellow tea?
Yellow tea, I mean, it's just so little that, of course, is the one we drink the least because there is so little offer. But all these other have a lot of offer out there. And one of them, we consume much, much less than all the other. Which one is it? Yeah, Severin, not yellow. Yellow, just remove it. Yeah, Joe, yellow. That's clear that is yellow, but not yellow. Just among the others, yeah, white, green, oolong, black, Pu-erh, and dark tea. Correct, is black tea. Black tea is the right answer. So, or red tea, black tea. And now think about which is the tea that in the world most consumers drink. Remove China from the world because China is an exception. Look at the rest of the world, the other 5 billion people that drink tea sporadically. Which tea do they drink the most? Black tea.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh.
Have you ever asked yourself why? And I did a lot because I actually made 2 observations. One is very easy. I like black tea. And the other one is black tea is still fairly popular in China among tea lovers like us. So I'm asking myself why. There is this Pu-erh hype, both in China and in the Western world. White tea works well here and there. Yeah, green tea, more in China, but there are definitely a lot of green tea lover among Pu-erh drinker. Why? Yeah, why we don't drink black tea? And yeah, what do you think is the reason why? Elsa, what do you think? Why? I mean, and please, guys, write your ideas. Why do you think it is the case?
I don't know. I mean, I guess a lot of us, or I guess it depends what culture you're raised in, but you have black tea for breakfast, you put some milk in it, some sugar in it, and then maybe once you get more curious, you start to look at what else is out there.
That could be one reason. And I see some comments, Elsa, with black tea, I mean European Western black tea, so Honcha. I don't mean dark tea. I mean tea like Assam, Darjeeling, Kimun, Chimenmaofeng, Lapsang Souchong, and so on. So Sigi, which is NanNuoshan on the chat, is writing, I think it does have a lot to do with the association of black tea being more a commodity than a luxury good. Yeah. Yeah, I think actually there is this belief that black tea is more, as you say, Elsa, it's more of, a tea for everyone. Yeah, everyone have access to it. It's not fancy. So when you go into tea, you look at what I want to drink, what people don't know. Yeah. So that people, when they come to me and they ask, which is your favorite tea? Oh, I don't tell you because you don't know. You don't even know what is Pu-erh and what I'm speaking to you. It's that. But is a pity, honestly, I believe, because there are some gems. Well, I mean, I agree from some aspects of that the way you process oolong is more complex. It's really an art, and it's very hard to take out all the taste of the leaves. So you get more aroma out of the same leaf if you process them like an oolong. And actually, black tea was probably invented to simplify the oolong processing. So a simplification usually results not necessarily in something better, right? But I say this is a pity because besides the new trends like Jinjunmei, that there are really extremely aromatic one, you have other black tea that are able to give you that fullness of taste and depth of aroma and taste, very similar to what also some Pu-erh can do. I know that the association might be strange for some of you, but you have to consider that countries or provinces like Yunnan, where they have this large list variety, produce also a lot of black tea. It's recent history, right? They started less than a century ago, but they do a lot of black tea, very fancy and very good one. But also in other places in China, they do the same with large leaf varieties. And with those leaf varieties, you get this depth of taste. And I think we have two on our website. We have the Yingde Oncha, that is the tea of the mount. Yingde Oncha is an almost unknown black tea in China, but it is really produced only in a very local region around Yingde in Guangdong province. And they use a specific cultivar, is a large leaf cultivar that is only used for that type of tea. So you want to check that out. And also we have our Daye Honcha, that is a black tea done with 40 years old tea trees that go freely in a forest in Guangdong, but the seeds were brought from Yunnan. And there is not much of that tea left. And I suggest to try that out to understand and exchange with me, please, if you feel the same, that those teas have this level of depth, like Pu-erh lover actually searching Shen Pu-erh. Oh yeah, I speak a lot. Let's see if there are any comments.
Cotton Brew is drinking black tea right now.
Yeah, Dianhong. Yes, I like Dianhong. Dianhong is another example. And Dianhong, you have the classic Dianhong, which the Chinese would call Jinya. Jinya meaning golden buds, so the typical golden buds, that Dianhong. But if you say just Dianhong in China, that means simply Yunnan red. Dian is the shortening for Yunnan, and it can be any tea from Yunnan. So there are other teas, like for example, Fengqing Hongcha is another very famous black tea from Yunnan, that you could actually pretend it is a Dianhong, because it's also black tea from Yunnan, and it's extremely aromatic. It has this rose flower fragrance that is as powerful as actually the fragrance of a dancong, just a little bit less mineral and a little bit how to say more clean. Like this one is a dancong, and it has this bouquet of very different flowers and even actually oranges in it. The Fengqing Hongcha, very pure one, have this clear rose note, and just that, you know. Yeah, I see that some of you actually also enjoy black tea, but unfortunately, it's much less. I think it is underestimated, and you know, by the way, the fact that it's the least sought after. Actually, also in China is more than in the Western world, but also there certainly is not the hype. It makes it affordable. So you can have really good black tea for very good price.
And actually, because Forgotten Brew was talking about Nepalese black tea, which I was, when you were talking about black tea, I was thinking how, for me, I would also tend to turn towards not a black tea, but if I had to drink a black tea, I might drink Nepalese black tea, which have these very floral, much more delicate notes.
And these bring me to another friend of us that actually, again, you introduced me to him, is Nolly. And you know, as I did a video with Nolly because he's a Japanese tea expert. He's living in Denver. When I went to Denver, Elsa was in the US, and I asked Elsa, do you know anyone in the US? And she said, yeah, I know actually in Denver. I know actually Nolly in Denver. And I met Nolly, and he had once a visit from a Nepalese tea producer that he knows. And we had a tea tasting at his place where we tried all the different teas produced by this Nepalese farm. And I have to say, I was pretty impressed by the quality. Yeah.
And you can find, because Nepalese tea is so much less known, you can find these incredible, just gorgeous teas that at such a lower price than you would pay for like a Darjeeling or something like that, when the quality is higher sometimes.
Definitely, yeah. So again, if you want good tea for a good price, you have to look where others don't look. And if you look where others don't look, it doesn't mean you get less quality tea. Also consider the fact that farmers that have a product that doesn't sell well, that doesn't have a hype, they strive for better quality. Farmers that have a product that can sell anyway, they look for quantity. So yeah, that's, you know, just my suggestion. I had Nepalese tea that had similar character with Yencha oolongs, more roasted one. Yeah, because some of those countries, I mean, I'm speaking not China, other countries are actually trying to take over some of the Chinese processing. That's very common. You have Vietnam and Thailand trying to do oolong, taking seeds from Taiwan and trying to do oolong. You have Indian that have started doing white tea in a very similar way, like Silver Needle and Baimudan. What else? And even in Nepal, of course, you have white tea. And here it was mentioned that Nepalese tea that is similar to Yencha. Yeah. So there is a lot of trying out, and most of those trials do not really work out, but some of them do. An example is we have an Indian peony on our website, which is a white tea made from Darjeeling leaves in Darjeeling. so a high mountain handmade white tea from Darjeeling that is, to me, amazing. I had actually, by the way, unfortunately, Matthias could not join us, but he rediscovered that Indian peony recently, and he said, I love it. I'll go for it in this stream." Actually, he wanted to drink it. So they can do really good things, yeah, with tea that is actually not their heritage tea, let's say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So Ziggy pointed out,
Our time is almost over.
Ziggy pointed out that we've been talking for 2 hours already. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's much better when I do live streaming with others, because despite I tend to speak a lot, it tells me speaking a little bit less, and it's less tiring because I tell you, I mean, speaking. So I really like the idea, of having the customer participating in this discussion, because it will make it more like really meeting other people and not just speaking to the camera. I already enjoy much more actually doing live streaming than YouTube video, simply because I know real time there is someone listening at me. While when I speak to the camera, you have to project yourself in the future, right? I'm sure you know what I mean, Elsa.
Well, and I think also, because one of the best things about tea is the tea community, that this idea of, being able to chat live with people while you're all drinking together makes a lot of sense as the next step.
No, definitely. Oh, Forgotten Brew is writing that she had a black tea from South Korea, which is amazing floral. Also, South Korea, a country that produced 99% of the tea is green tea. Still, they also try out different things, yeah. Elsa, which are your favorite tea moments from the past? Your memories, do you have one favorite tea moment that you want to recall?
Yeah, okay. So obviously there's quite a few to choose from. But probably thinking of this topic of tea community, I think one of the at one point I went back to Japan with the Japan Tea Export Council, and I did this 2-week tour where we were visiting in Shizuoka and Kagoshima all of these different farmers and factories and auction houses, which was really fascinating. And I was there with a group of tea professionals from all over the world. And after that, I was heading to Taiwan. And I didn't really have any tea contacts in Taiwan yet. And so I asked one of my fellow tour members if she knew anyone in Taiwan. And she put me in contact with this tea farmer who she was talking with about buying tea, but she'd never met her yet. But she said she seemed quite lovely, so maybe you can reach out to her. So I got in contact with her, and she said, "Oh yeah, sure. If you take the train down to meet me, I'd be happy to show you around, take you back to my tea farm." So I had no idea that she basically drove more than 2 hours, I think 2.5 hours, to come pick me up at the train station. And unfortunately, I didn't have time to go back with her to her tea farm, which would have been amazing. But we ended up spending the whole day together. There was a tea festival nearby, so we went there, met a bunch of her tea friends, and then she took me driving around to visiting all these different tea fields. And she and I ended up becoming quite dear friends, actually. And she just this past week sent me this tea package with actually this beautiful gaiwan that I'm drinking from.
Oh, nice. I mean, it's so nice of her that she's sending, gaiwans over.
Tea, which
And you said she owns the gardens as well, or?
Yeah, so I believe it's her family, and so she's farming for years and years and years. And
maybe we should get in touch with her and get some samples, and you can start contributing even in sourcing.
actually,
That sounds like lovely idea.
her spring teas from this year are really die for. They're
Wow. I mean, I love the fact that actually you have all this connection in Japan since you were there twice for tea and also in Taiwan. And we are more in China. In Taiwan, actually, we source tea only from Atom, not from him, but his tea. And that could help us, in broaden a little bit our offering horizon. Now, with you doing video, we will definitely have some video about Japanese tea and Japanese tea culture that we are very knowledgeable about. By the way, guys, I've asked Elsa short ago to do a quick video just to see that the setup, is fine. I wanted her just to do like a 30 seconds video to show me how is the audio. And she made a lovely, I think it was 7-8 minutes long video about Japanese tea and the way she prepare in her unique way. She prefer Japanese tea cold brewing in summer. She was still in France, where it's still summer. And I was like, wow, you have to do this video again for all our customers because it's really, a cool topic. So we will have Elsa definitely doing some more videos about Japanese tea. And I say, I personally like this idea of not having only myself on our YouTube channel and having different contribution. Elsa is a start just yesterday, actually. And Elsa, you even didn't know this because I haven't got the time since yesterday to speak about it. You were already sleeping. But I've got another person proposing to do video on our YouTube channel.
Oh.
Would be more on the Pu-erh side because he's a Pu-erh freak. But yeah, we will consider it. We have a meeting with Mathias Monday, Mathias and Elsa. We will discuss that. So when we will start, and you will start seeing new faces, please let us know also what you think about that. Is this the way also you would like to go to proceed in the future? NannuoShan YouTube channel is there for you, not for us. So give us the feedback, please, when those videos are out. I would love to learn more about Japanese tea, their flavor profile and brewing method. That's great, Matthew. And it takes some time, but we will get those videos out for you. And I can reveal something if you want about our new Japanese tea collection. So what we have done, of course, sencha is, the most famous Japanese green tea, I would say. I mean, if we exclude, now kombucha is very popular and so, but, historically speaking. And, guys, that, well, there is one type of cultivar that is very spread out in Japan, Yabukita, like even more than Qingshin in Taiwan. I think 3/4 of the tea gardens in Japan are made out of that cultivar. But nonetheless, sencha is a tea that a lot of the time is just a blend. They blend different cultivars together, or it's just Yabukita because it's so very popular. So we thought, let's explore that and let's offer different sencha from the same farmers, from the same garden, but single cultivar. So this is what is coming up next. Will be just in a few weeks from now. And so be ready to try very fresh Japanese sencha from the same farm, processed in the same way, but from different cultivars.
That's fabulous. That's really the best way to also taste the differences in each cultivar. Fabulous.
Yeah, so that's the way. That's where we go. Yeah, so lovely to hear your tea moment story. That's always it's always the case, when something happened unexpectedly, right? That remains in your memory. Yeah.
Do you have one to share as well?
I probably have many.
Yeah.
I think the thing that really pop up to my mind when I think of memories in China, sometimes actually the first thing I think is more the bad memories, just because, when you are really, when you are really in difficulties, and I tell you, when you go in China to source tea, it's not always that easy and that lovely as it may sound. You can have really hard time in finding good tea, problem with communication, be disappointed, and so on. And still, maybe I should do a video about that because it's certainly interesting to share. Other memories, I mean, there are many things I could mention. I could even mention the experience with Ryan that I mentioned before. Was lovely. But I will mention something that I think, Elsa, you also don't know and is related to your experience when you were there and you got this surprise from Taiwan and someone that drove 2 hours to pick you up. And well, you have to know, one of my first tea journey in China, I was in Shanghai, and I met a lady, and we went out to drink something. I found her on the couch surfing platform. I just searched for people to have connection and see if they knew other people in Shanghai, and we started speaking about it and so on. And then at a certain point, she said, "You know, I have my cousin. He does oolong tea in Uishan." And I thought, oh Jesus, now she wants now to sell me the tea from her cousin. That's the problem in China. She realized I sell tea, and she wants me just to push and have tea from someone I don't know. And in Uishan there is a lot of low quality mass-produced tea, and I really didn't want that. Whatever. Then I told her that actually in a few days I will travel to Uishan. And she was saying, "Oh, nice! I will take vacation." Yeah, she has 6 days of vacation for the whole year. She would take vacation. She would come to Uishan and introduce me to her cousin. And I said, "Oh Jesus! I have 3 days, 4 days there, and I have to spend time to meet her cousin." Anyway, I flew to Uishan. She took a train, overnight train, because the flight was too expensive for her. We met her in the morning, and her cousin is still today my favorite tea producer in Uishan. And he's a farmer that we met last year when we did the tea tour. And Mr. Tu, he had the most amazing yancha that I ever drink, and even black tea actually. Mathias is super enthusiastic. We will have some tea from these farmers in our private collection series. And ever since, when I go to Uishan, I go visiting him. We rarely buy tea from him because it's so expensive. Yeah, I have tea from him at home, but yeah, that's definitely an experience that is worth remembering. Yeah.
And just by chance, you end up meeting exactly the person that you were hoping for or looking for.
And so kind person, even if we don't buy tea from them actually because they're too expensive for our website, nonetheless they always spend time with us when we visit them. They're always happy. They did this tour with us. They helped us to organize the tea tour from our customer, having this gorgeous, amazing actually tea tasting in their private tea house. They spent the whole next day with us, walking all our customer through the gardens in the protected area. And just for fun. Yeah, during the harvest time, by the way. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, yeah, many stories to tell, and we've discussing here for quite a while. I think, guys, now we proceed. I drank too much tea. I have to run to the restroom. But it was definitely a pleasure to drink with you, Elsa. A pity Mathias could not join us.
And also a cheers to Mathias.
Yes. Cheers to Mathias. Next time he will be, and maybe guys, he will be with us as well. So we will try to organize these interactive, short and informal tea gatherings with all of you. Let's see if that technically work out. Thank you, Elsa.
Oh, thank you.
And, thank you, everyone that is watching for us. And I'm sure you're already a subscriber of our YouTube channel, so I won't tell you to subscribe our channel, but go ahead, give us a like. It's important from us and for our YouTube channel. And yeah, Elsa, everyone, I will see you in the next video.
Yes, see you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.